home inspections for me since 2016, 2017. I've been watching you with joined us in studio a few weeks ago. I thought we were going to see you today, but you did a call in. I've been looking at your Instagram page, looking at you online. You've been adding services. You've added your sewer. Everybody knows what a home inspection is, right? You buy a home, you go into this due diligence period, you hire a licensed inspector, and they come out and check the homes. They do the basics, but you've been adding on to your service. I want to tell people why it can be so important. Tell us, since you talk about that sewer service you do. It's an extra service, but what houses you should do, why that is important, and how it can save you some money and get you so you know what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. The sewer scope is very important. It's from the front of the house out to the street. It's your main sewer line, and it's underground. And you can actually I put a camera down and take a look and get the flow and make sure everything's flowing correctly. Make sure there's no clogs. Make sure there's no cracks or anything like that in the main sewer line, which is it could be a really, really big cost down the road for a potential buyer if we can see that.
We had that failure before
that happened.
We had a tree
root go right through them, right?
Right through it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That happens. I've seen it where, I'll be filling up the tubs in a house and, all of a sudden it starts flooding and, and the other tub starts, overflowing and with the line, you can really just get a really good look at that main drain line and what condition it is and, if it's cast iron and things like that. And it will just save a tremendous, headache, for down the road.
So I'll tell you
on sewer scopes.
This is the house you and I did together, so I'm still a partner in this house. This is a house that we do short-term, medium-term rentals on, and I have it right now. In fact, we just joined a third home, and we have our first key rental tomorrow. We're at 3551 Pueblo. By the way, we're going to do an amazing event there on March 28th. Rat Pack, this house has had Elvis Presley has stayed there. Tom Jones has stayed there. The Beatles have stayed there. It's over in the Palms. It's on Vegas National Forest. But this is a house that you and I did. The house was older than we are, and we ran the water in that house. And I know you remember this. It was hot out. We had an offer in there. So what we did is we ran all of the water in the home. We run it at once. This is a tip that you should be doing in there. So I called Gary. I yelled at you. You're outside. I said, hey, we came in. The bathroom was completely overflowing. Now, it was clear water. It overflowed. It was clean. It flowed all the way through the master bedroom. I took videos of it, called the agent. The listing agent came over in about 30 minutes. We flushed all the water out. We were at a $550 purchase price. We got $40,000 back on that because we ran that. Now, we ended up doing the scope, but had we not ran all that water, Gary, you and I wouldn't have found that out. You know what would have happened is I would have got an unhappy phone call from our buyer and partner on that deal, but that's a pretty good tip. But that was an old house, right? It had the rust in it. It had been there for a long time.
Yes,
if you got an older house, you recommend doing that, I assume.
Yeah, and even on the newer houses also. I mean, you're putting down $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 end up. What's a few $100s to take a look at that main line? It's peace of mind is worth a lot more than wondering. It's always a good idea to do that. Whether it's maybe not so much on a great brand new houses, but pretty much.
Sure.
You get into 10, 15 plus years old and so on. Yeah.
So we talk about that seller real proper disclosure, guys, which is, I think it's the most important document for a seller and buyer in the sense that for the seller, it's their declaration of things that have gone wrong with the house. Many people do not do this, but say we have a deal, Brian, we go in, you do that scope inspection, and you say, hey, to the seller, I want to have X amount of money to fix it, and the seller says no, deal falls out of escrow. That seller is obligated because they know of a new problem. They're supposed to revise their SRPD and do that. So here's a little tip for you guys. Don't let your agent that only cares about that commission get you sued for 3 times treble damages in the future. If you are aware of a problem, doesn't mean that you fixed it. Something you're aware of, it could be in that escrow process, right? The Gary Kelleher comes out, tells you, and you find out it's $9,000 for that inspection. They pass on it. No one else is going to do it. Very few people, by the way, Gary, ever really ask for it. It's something that you offer. But once you know about it, you need to declare it. And also, you're able to haggle with that seller now. You say, listen, this is an issue that you may have not been aware of that's going to happen that is there. You know, back in the old days, everybody climbed on the roof. Nobody climbs on them now because why? We break the tile. You include drone inspections with your inspections for the roofs?
Yes, I do. I use a drone 85% of the time. The only roofs that I actually walk is the shingle roof. But other than that, any kind of tile, I include the drone. You get some nice clean footage. You get some close up. It's just like if I was up there walking around, with the drone. It's great. I've been using the drone since 2015. It's a great tool, and I include that in my inspections, and I pretty much don't inspect a roof without one.
Well, I'm looking at your Instagram page, Kelleher Home Inspections. Your son, very similar to my son and I working together. I had met him years back when he was an apprentice, but he's licensed as well. It's you two, and you guys work together. Your son's working with you as well. How's that going?
It's going pretty well. I'm teaching him everything that I've learned over the past almost 15 years of doing home inspections, and he's on the Fast Forward program, learning everything I learned over the years. Now, really, really quick. He's been working with me off and on since he's 18. He's 26 now. He's fully licensed, and he's really excited to be out there and getting after it, and he really wants to do this line of work, and it's been working out really, really good, because it's really nice when you have somebody that that has your best interest at heart. Well,
I saw your son on Saturday. So Brian's doing the loan. I'm the buyer's agent for it. We saw you last Saturday. We went out to a house, Watermelon Seed out in the north area. The gas was not on. Wasn't. So what can't we inspect with that? So you came out for the home inspection. Your son was there. We couldn't check the water heater. We couldn't check the AC, the dryer. We're going back out there at 6:30, and you're going to be coming out there. We got the gas turned back on today. You got to come back for a reinspection. Do you do reinspections for people? Say they do the inspection, they negotiate the due diligence period. How important is that for you to be able to come back and maybe make sure some of those requests for repairs were taken care of? You offer that as a paid service, but you come back out and make sure, especially for a layperson, maybe that agent really doesn't know much about the house. It's pretty good insurance when you think that for you to come out and make sure that work corrected.
Yeah. It's definitely, you come back out, do a reinspection, I have a small fee that goes along with it. But other than that, go back out and I do a reinspection report, and send it back over to you. So you know exactly those items are working, and plus any other items that, may be on the list that, the seller's going to agree to repair. And then, I check all that, and that way you have you have a report of everything, from the get-go, and so what was, repaired, not repaired, and it's definitely a thing to have.
We got about 2 more minutes. I want to hit you on 2 more questions. I want to talk to you about FLIR, forward-looking infrared, the cameras that help. Drywall can hide everything, right, guys?
Yeah.
Brian's a landlord. You can have a bad problem with a house. You slap some new drywall, a little texture, paint. It hides what's behind. You use FLIR, which is a camera that can actually see through and look for moisture and discoloration. Talk about that briefly.
The FLIR, you go around the water areas, around any kind of piping or anywhere pretty much. It will pick up if there's any kind of leaking and things like that. If the pipes are leaking, especially up underneath sinks and the connections, and also the dishwasher,
right
around there, and make sure that's not leaking, because sometimes those dishwashers, they get a real minor leak, and it's hard to pick up with the eye. But with the FLIR, that thing is like having a X-ray vision. It will pick up things that the naked eye is definitely not going to see, and it's going to be pretty distinctive, and it makes it really, really, really nice to find out if there's any kind of water leaks or any kind of water movement underneath the cabinets and things like that. So it's a great tool.
Well, something I like working with you, and I know that most inspectors would rather nobody be there for the inspection and just work through. You never give me a hard time. I had an inspector one time, you weren't busy, and he forbid us for coming. It's like, wait, it's our house. It's our due diligence period. They're paying you. We're going to come. If you don't like that, pound sand, we'll go somewhere else. What I like is you don't scare the buyers off necessarily. You get some inspectors, and they just tell you every little crack in the house and scare people to death and realize you're buying a used house. There's going to be a little bit of cracks in the stucco. It doesn't mean it's structural, different things. You got more of that even hand approach. So if you're an agent, you're listening, you want somebody that's not going to blow your deal. I'll tell you, Brian, how many deals nowadays where you get people, especially when we're in more of a buyer's market, where that home inspection is that make or break to the inspector. So I like that you're even-handed, showing what's there and do it. If you need a home inspection, what's the best way to get a hold of you? I see you've been active on your Instagram page, kind of like I have, put a lot of things on there, and I'm following you. But what's your site? What's your home site?
KelleherHomeInspections.com. That's KelleherHomeInspections.com. KELLEHER, and then homeinspections.com. And actually, they can go on there. They can actually schedule me. If they don't want to call me, they don't have to. They go schedule me. They see the price. They see the times I'm available. It's a one shop, and you're done. Boom, boom, and you schedule it. And also, if you'd like to call, my phone number is 702-265-2118. That's 702-265-2118. And I always answer the phone, too.
Yes, you do.
And I also answer texts, yeah.
So, by the way, you are a cart guy, and Brian's a cart guy, and he knew you, too, before you actually officially met. You guys raised carts. And when you sold a house, I ended up taking one of your racer carts, by the way. I don't know if you remember that. Your kids were big into karting, so we have that little bit of a karting connection. Thank you for being on. And by the way, I'm going to give you a call for that reinspection, I think, tomorrow on that deal. The gas got turned on today. So thanks for joining us, Gary.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you real soon.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. It's Kelleher Home Inspections who we use. We're going to talk more. There's a lot of interesting